Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a review, or actually like a showcase of the Battletron Gaming Mouse with multicolor LED light. Man, that is absolutely a mouthful. You know, when it comes to these naming, it makes no sense. They're all having like gaming mouse, but you know, now it's called the multicolor LED light. However, what we're getting is something of an overall, let's say, interesting new configuration with 7 buttons. We do have like a 1.5 meter over cable. Then we're going to be having all kinds of DPI settings. We got 800 all the way up to 8000. Of course, it's not comparable to a Logitech or like a more expensive brand in that case. I think this is just a very cool mouse you can actually use for just daily office work. And yeah, also going to be using it for all kinds of gaming. However, I think it's just searching like a low budget solution. These things are like really cheap. I think they're asking like $5 in the action nowadays. So it's absolutely ridiculous how cheap this is. However, but we're going to be having RGB coloring changing light. There's nothing of a fancy communication going on. So it's very limited to a certain point. So don't expect too much from this gaming mouse. But I can tell you, there are some really cool features to this mouse that I'm going to be liking. So let's do a quick, just do like a quick look into this and let's see what we're going to be getting. The way how this thing looks reminds me of the old school Mad Catz days. Yeah, this is like a mouse. So far what I understand, I've been looking into it. I can actually try to unscrew a couple of these things, but I think it's not the idea to actually like convert this or like transform into this, like say, very interesting but weird overall customized mouse. It's just something really basic. It's the BD25D. Or there's the batch number, and over here the model number. That's absolutely a massive one. So DEIS Europe is how I think it's called. It's actually the importer of this gaming mouse. So I do wonder like if people actually like bought this thing and also other devices of the Battletron series. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of these devices? Do you have some positive overall, let's say, experiences so far? With mine, I'm always like very pleasant. I'm so pleasantly surprised, but the overall quality of this particular model is absolutely so much better. However, a couple of things you need to take into consideration. Customizing, there is nothing we can actually do so far, I understand. We do have these very nice pads underneath, and on my desk you do have like an absolutely very nice resistance, not too much, so this is great. So we're going to be looking over here on the mouth clicks, and the mouth clicks, I must say that they are absolutely very satisfying. So also when you're looking at the overall travel, we do have a little bit of a travel over here, but with a really satisfying click. But even more important is how comfortable it is. I do have like big hands, let's put it that way. So one of the things that is very comfortable, if you're going to be looking at my, let's say my thumb. My thumb is actually laying on here. I think that is one of the great overall features of this mouse. So you're not dragging your thumb on your, let's say, desk or the mouse pad itself. So that's one of the big cool features. So this time we're going to be having, let's say, buttons, and I must say I use them a lot with shooting games. However, there was a little bit of a downside of this, and it has been improved compared with the other models I've reviewed back in the day. I think like the first one over here has like a very sensitive micro switch, or not a lot of, let's say, travel going on. But if you're going to be looking at the back over here, we do have a lot of travel, and in my opinion, that is not going to be a good thing. That is something they should absolutely fix with like newer models. So you have like click instantly, like with the one at the front. Maybe they did it on purpose, I have no idea, but in the end I think that's one of the points it should absolutely improve. So we're going to be looking at the overall configuration. Like we do have over here the DPI settings, and the scrolling wheel is very nicely, because the resistance of the scrolling wheel, but also when it comes to the rubber on top, it gives like an absolutely great overall grip. The RGB is very subtle. It's not like this extremely over top like RGB. So if you don't really care about it, if you don't want to see it at all, there's no way of actually like shutting this down. But what is actually cool that we're going to be looking into this, you can see at the side like the piece of plastic is actually like lighting up. So the overall design, I must say that I really like it. So just a subtle RGB, making this mouse absolutely perfect and standing out in your collection. Because back in the day, like the first like models they released had like all these crazy RGB and it was fully lighting up. But this, no, it's not happening as soon. And of course we do have like a simple optical lens, not laser, everything like crazy, like super high DPI. This is just a simple gaming mouse. If you just want to have something simple, but also comfortable, I must say, yeah, I think I like it, particularly when it comes to the size, but also when it comes to the way this mouse actually bends to a certain point. But let's play a little bit of a game. So, but when it comes to the overall accuracy of the mouse, I think it's not bad at all. I must say that I find it absolutely an overall pleasant experience. Oh, I almost shot the guy. Get into the closet, come on. Come on. You get in the closet. Get into the closet. Get to it now. Okay, there we go. However, if you're going to be looking at the way how this responds, I must say that I am really surprised. Yeah. Of course, it's not like a super high-end shooting game, but I just wanted to check out something else to see what's going on. Oh, there we go. Let's blow it up. But if we're going to be having some point and click normally, we can just normally do it with a touchscreen. We don't have a touchscreen, so we're going to be using the mouse itself. But yeah, I must say that one of the things I do know, like the back button, is something I cannot really get used to because it's the long travel. You can just see I'm pressing it over here. Nah, it's not going to be a thing. Does this freaking thing even load up? Ah, there we go. And of course, responsiveness can be adjusted from the mouse itself. I must say that I've been adjusting it a lot in game and outside of the game, but this has to do with the overall cursor speed. And of course, you need to check the speed itself, the special options inside of Windows. But yeah, I must say that this is absolutely an overall enjoyable situation. You just need to click the mouse itself. So let's move into some Doom itself. And I can tell you that this is a really fun overall experience if I don't die at the spot. How can I freaking work with this game? I have no idea what's going on. But the responsiveness of the mouse is great, absolutely. Oh, what the heck? Oh, cool, we even have a third person mode. I'm still figuring out where my buttons are. Like, who configured this freaking thing? What the hell? The customized controls, mouse options. So let's get into some gaming. Oh man, everything was completely messed up. Let's go into brutal mode. Woo, you missed. Bah, booyah. There we go, there we go. Need the blue key. Damn the blue key. But I've been playing a lot with different kind of Battletron devices, but I must say that I am really pleased with the way how this thing actually feels. Woo! There we go. Brutal Doom is so freaking awesome. Based on Doom 64, am I saying it correctly? We have the blue key. I got the blue key, my friends. Did forget the ammo. Not going to be needing it. Woo! Bam! But we can actually say that, yeah, I'm satisfied. The gaming mouse, I must say that they absolutely need to change names, you know. Do something with the naming like Pro, Deluxe, 1, version 1, 2, it's kind of confusing. But I must say, when you're going to be looking at the overall quality, I think this is going to be one of my favorite ones actually for, yeah, just for using because of the form factor, and I find it really comfortable. Particularly if you're going to be comparing this to my Logitech mouse that I have over here. Of course, it's not going to be in good comparison because this even has a laser and this thing is like so much more expensive. However, I think it's a very fun overall mouse for just playing some overall simple games. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. It will be great to see you in the next video.